Let's just do a very quick rundown or run through and just give our quick thoughts on all the different AFCON qualifying groups. So, of course, the qualifying series ended today. Um, Groups A to Group L. Let's talk about each group very quickly. Who qualified, who didn't, and who impressed us. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so Group A, we had group winners Comoros.
Mm-hmm.
Comoros, of course, storied team. We all remember how they embarrassed Ghana, you know, at the AFCON. But yeah, storied team in that sense. They won Group A with 12 points, and then finishing second was Tunisia with 10 points. Third, the Gambia with 8 points, and then bottom of the group was Madagascar with 2 points. So Comoros and Tunisia qualified for the AFCON. Smith Layi, any surprises there for you?
For me, it's Gambia. It's Gambia. Gambia have one of the best young players in Africa. Yakubu Mente and Dama Boyan. They have these players. Scattered. They even got one player from North County. He just made his debut in this last game. But unfortunately, they're not going to be going to AFCON. And also, what Madagascar? You mentioned Madagascar. They beat Nigeria too. So if we're talking about Ghana, say Comoros beat Ghana. Madagascar to beat Nigeria in 2019.
Yeah.
So remember in that AFCON, and we lost 2-0 to them. That was a big shock. On against Raw, but they don't go be going to the AFCON too. So one good thing I like about Comoros is this: most of their players are even not those big players there. And the good thing about them is this: they are topping the World Cup qualifier group. They are also going to the AFCON ahead of Ghana. They're topping the World Cup qualifier group ahead of Ghana and Mali. They're also going to the AFCON. That tells you that they are doing something right. So for me, I think I'm really actually happy with Comoros. I'm surprised that Gambia flopped in this qualified series. And they lost their coach, Tom Santifes to Mali. The one who wanted to employ too. So I think since he left, they have been getting mixed results. And one thing too that even affected Gambia was that they renovated their stadium in Banjul. They went to CAF for approval. CAF did not give them approval. So they have to go and play their home game away from home. So that all those mistakes, really affected them. So that's why I think Gambia are not going to this AFCON. And the English coach too, they went to go and get with no experience. I think probably fire him. So okay, that is not bad. Yeah.
Is it English? That was Northern Irish.
No, it's not that Irish. Sorry, it's not that Irish. I'm not until that British manager. So
Hmm.
British manager.
Okay, yeah. So for me, I just say kudos to Comoros.
Mm-hmm.
To go through the entire qualification series unbeaten, I think
Mm-hmm.
is definitely a plus for them.
Yeah.
And then yeah, Gambia, would have expected Gambia to qualify ahead of Comoros, but
Mm-hmm.
if you don't do the job on the field,
Yeah.
you cannot come and blame anybody after.
Anybody? Yes.
Okay, Group B. Group B, we had topping the group Morocco with 18 points. That is 6 wins out of 6 wins.
Mm-hmm.
Big wins 4-1 against Gabon, 5-0 against CAR, 4-0 against CAR, 7-0 against Lesotho. So they really stamped their mark on that one. Second in Group B was Gabon with 10 points. Third were Lesotho with 4 points. And fourth were CAR with 3 points. So Morocco and Gabon qualifying from this group. Now, I'll go first on this one. I'll say Morocco. Morocco are who Nigeria wish we were. In terms of organization, in terms of results, in terms of everything, they are who we wish we were. They seem to be moving continuously, trending in the right direction, whereas we seem to not have that continuity. Morocco haven't lost a game since they lost 2-0 to South Africa at the AFCON.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Mm-hmm.
a way to prepare for the next tournament. Does that mean they are going to win it? No. Does that mean that they are going to beat Nigeria for sure if we play them? No. But it shows that you are putting in the work and you are trying to move in the direction that you are supposed to be moving. Um, like I said, big wins. When they face a team like Lesotho, they don't say, "Oh, we've already qualified, so we took our foot off the gas." They don't say, "Oh, Lesotho played well." It's no excuses, no explanation for the opponent. They go and they beat them 7-0. When they play against a team like Gabon at home 4-1, away 5-1, they go and they beat them properly. When they play against a team like Central African Republic, at home they give them 5, you go to their own country, you give them 4. You beat them properly, you let them hear when you let them know that you're their big brother, they are the junior brother. So congrats to Morocco, fantastic qualification campaign, and congratulations to Gabon as well. Gabon is one of those teams that tends to they flatter to deceive. You think that they're good, then they don't do well. We saw how in the last AFCON qualification in 2023, they were just really not um, a very good team. They didn't qualify for the last one. So hopefully this one they are able to do better and we can at least see Aubameyang in another AFCON. But yeah, Smith, like your thoughts on this could be quickly.
Just to mention Brahim Diaz, he used Lesotho to collect a top scorer award in in AFCON qualifier. That's one thing. Now you beat the team in front of you, and I can
Yep.
tell you that the way Morocco is doing it's like if they want to eat chicken, they will eat the chicken with the feathers. They
Hmm.
also want everything. They finish it on the spot.
No time to the pay
No, no,
chicken.
no, no time to the feel am. They go go use mouth tear everything come out. And I can tell you that they actually what they did well. See, with this 18 points, who do you think will face Morocco in the World Cup qualifier and Morocco will not and they will not be scared? They will not be wetting
Hmm.
them. Will they will they will they will. That's why I said Zambia to forget World Cup. I think they're in the same group with Zambia. Sorry. So you know, you will see that this is the fear factor we have to create. To this team because they don't have the respect again for us. I don't think that on paper Morocco have like a better team than Nigeria, but it's just that they are more organized and they know exactly what to do. Most now their strength now is on set pieces. That's what is trending now. Look at Aston Villa. Look at Arsenal. I think the Moroccan too are going. Imagine you use that routine set pieces in Africa. You'll be scoring goals anyhow. Eh?
Hmm.
Yes, because in Africa, where defenders lack concentration, you now have a good defensive coach that can help you to do set pieces. To do set pieces coach that can help you to do set pieces. You'll be scoring goals. I don't know why we cannot exploit that. Maybe like when they do everything, they do code, they do forward, they do midfield, they do. We need to exploit those small details to be able to navigate through and get to where we deserve to actually be.
Hmm. Hmm. Well said. Well said. Okay, let's move on quickly. We go to Group C, where we had group winners Egypt finishing with 14 points, runners up Botswana finishing with 8 points. We had third place Mauritania with 7 points, and then fourth place Cape Verde with 4 points in that group. So Egypt, of course, another team that went into this qualification series, and other than their last two games that they just drew, they were on a clear, clear path. They hadn't considered a goal until this international breaks. Like, how do you assess this group?
No, I'm just happy for Botswana. They're doing something very right there. Remember that the one guy, from Botswana won the 200 meters at the Olympics.
In the Olympics.
Yes, and and they have the youngest FA president in Africa. I'm going to remember his name now. I saw him on Super Sports. So they're doing something right. They're trying to take football to the youth, and their coach left. Imagine a coach left after the last international window. I think they brought in a new coach, the coach for one of their top clubs in Botswana, and they did the job for them to qualify. So I'm happy for them. They are ahead of Mauritania. Mauritania was there in the last AFCON, and they also showed us they did well during the last AFCON. By taking Algeria out of the on the last AFCON. So and also your darling Cape Verde, I know that you tip them to actually what to do well in the last AFCON, but unfortunately, they won't be going to this this
To
AFCON
this next one.
after
Yeah.
after turning heads, in the previous AFCON. So for me, I'm happy that Botswana is there. It's going to be lovely to see our friends from East Africa, and also Egypt. Egypt will also qualify.
Mm.
So I'm happy for Botswana.
No, yeah. Congratulations to Egypt. Congratulations to Botswana. As far as Cape Verde, if it happened all the time,
Mm-hmm.
it wouldn't be a Cinderella story anymore.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be a
Mm-hmm.
beautiful story anymore. So
Yes.
they'll miss out on this one, but hopefully,
They come back.
2027.
Mm-hmm. They come back.
Hopefully they come back.
Yeah.
Okay, Group D, Nigeria won the group 11 points, Benin Republic second with 8 points, Rwanda third with 8 points, and then Libya fourth with 5 points. I don't think we've spent most of the day already talking about this group.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, kudos to Nigeria, kudos to
Benin
Benin,
Republic.
kudos to Rwanda, kudos
And
to
then draw.
Libya. You're tried, and
Yeah.
yeah, shout out to Getting Raw, man.
Yeah.
Uh, he continues to do the job, and
Yeah.
do a good job as well. Group E. Moving on to Group E, we have Algeria top of the group with 16 points. Algeria second, Equatorial Guinea with 8 points. Third, Togo with 5 points, and fourth, Liberia with 4 points. Smith Layi, your thoughts on this group quickly?
No, the highlight of this group is Secretary again, making the making the AFCON. And it's gonna be nice to it'll be lovely to see their fans too in Morocco, It'll be lovely. I know that it's gonna be one of the highlights, of the of the next year's AFCON in Morocco. So unfortunately, I wanted Togo to qualify. But our two West African neighbors, friends there, Togo and Liberia, they have to share the bottom and the third position. So two of them will not be there, and that's a minus to Wafu. In my own opinion, I think Wafu, we don't have enough representative in this year's AFCON. We keep on getting last, third and last. Maybe they're taking football away from us. So Algeria, as usual, only one draw, 5 wins. Petkovic did not start well, but is now doing the job for Algeria. He's trying different formation. See, Algeria will be a monster in Morocco next year.
Hmm,
In fact, he's changing the team around. He's tinkling the team, and I think that apart from that, they will even surprise us at the World Cup.
hmm. And they had some good wins in this qualification series.
Yes,
Only
yes,
one draw.
only one draw.
Should be a good team to watch
Yes,
Algeria for
yes,
sure.
yes.
Okay, Group F. Top of Group F, we had Angola with 14 points.
Mm-hmm,
Second, we had Sudan 8 points. Third,
mm-hmm.
Niger 7 points, and then fourth of Group F, we had our brothers Ghana bottom, languishing at the bottom with 3 points out after 6 matches played. So Charlie, it be things, sometimes life can be like that. Um, on a day that Nigeria lost, Ghana said, don't worry, we cannot even dare banter you today because our whole organization is a joke. I saw the Ghanaian journalists, attacking Otto Addo. Otto Addo too is going back at them,
Mm-hmm.
talking about how he's been a coach for how long, he's been a scout
12
for so
years.
long, talking
Scout for
about
6 months.
how in Dortmund they are happy with him, this one, that one. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I don't wish bad on anybody, but it's always nice when you see your your noisy rivals, when you see them in this kind of mess. It's always nice to see. Cannot beat Angola, cannot beat Niger, cannot beat Sudan. Just absolutely shambolic performance from Ghana in this qualification series. Um, Missing out on the AFCON, I think, is what they deserve. They haven't shown us anything to say that they are one of the best teams in Africa. Hopefully, things can get better for them and things can get better quick because they need it. It, of course, just continues to be embarrassing for us that unfortunately, this is a team that stopped us from going to the last World Cup. But like we said, Comoros are disturbing them this year as well, this qualification round. So let's see how that one goes. But all in all, congratulations to Angola. Big congratulations to Sudan. With Kwesi Appiah, Ghanaian, who of course has disappointed his countrymen, but of course has excited his employers. But yeah, is a crazy one, but I'm happy with how the group turned out. So your thoughts on Group F, play?
For me, it got to the stage that I wanted Ghana to qualify just because of my love for Otto Hado, but unfortunately, things didn't actually turn out the way I actually was wanted it. This group is just a very funny group, and on paper, you think Ghana will be top with the group, and now the last in the group, and I've been following their story too, Ghana has never won an AFCON match for the past since 2019. They've never won an AFCON match, and they won only one match in that AFCON 2019. So Ghana won one match across like three AFCONs. So it can never go this low for Ghana any longer. Like this is like the lowest of the low. And if they can be patient with Otuado, it's going to actually come out and actually perform and change this situation for them. So, I don't know. You've already said everything about Ghana. I don't know what else to actually say about them. I just think that, if you have players that can deliver on paper and you lose at home to Angola, you lost at home against the Niger Republic, and also, you got whitewashed, at home, away against Sudan. So, it's just a very crazy group. But like you said, Ghana will help us to be, when we want to prepare for AFCON. You want to send anybody go errand, we look for some of them, I know that's to send them go some places because they will be at home. So, and I want to highlight what Angola has been doing. When we beat Angola in the final of the AFCON, most of us agree that Angola actually did well, but we were just unfortunately to like a better playing Nigerian side. So I'm happy that they qualified now. I want them to continue, and show us that they are doing well. So for me, it's a good group. And Ghana, I'm sorry, you're going to be at home, but that's where you belong. And people supposed to happy too. It was disgraced in Ghana, but now it's on as a hero.
Mm, mm. All right, all right.
That's one thing too. I'm
Okay.
I'm trying to put my data together. The two teams that came last too, they're also from West Africa.
Mm.
So
Okay, let's move quicker because of time.
yes,
Group G, Group
yes.
G. Zambia won that group with 13 points. Ivory Coast, of course, defending champions, finished second with 12 points. Sierra Leone finished third with 5 points, and then Chad bottom of the group with 3 points. Like quickly thoughts on Group G.
Zambia, highlight of the group, Zambia, they only lost once to Ivory Coast, and since then they kicked off the qualification. They won 4 games and draw only one. The most impressive was their home win against Ivory Coast, and also what away win against Sierra Leone today. And good team performance. The African champions lost 2 games, in this group. So against Sierra Leone and against Zambia. So for me, I think the favorite qualified. I think you expect Zambia and Ivory Coast to be there, and also Sierra Leone and Chad to stay at home. Yeah,
Yeah, two teams that you would expect to
to
qualify from
qualify.
this
Yeah,
group
for this group
normally.
stage. Thank you.
Group H, top of the group, DR Congo with 12 points, Tanzania second with 10 points, Guinea third with 9 points, Ethiopia fourth with 4 points. Guinea not qualifying for this AFCON. Smita, your thoughts on the group?
Yeah, unfortunately, Cyril Gerassi, the guy from Dortmund, a lot of people think that it will be the next African Player of the Year, maybe probably second to Lemar Lukman, but not going to the AFCON. He was so upset about the game against Tanzania today, but that's how it is. When you have a strong league, you have spent money on your league very well. I think Tanzania deserves to actually be in this AFCON, and for me, that's what they did the hard work. They won away against Ethiopia, and they also won at home today against Guinea. For me, I would have expected DR Congo and Guinea to qualify, but Tanzania did the impossible. Another one again, another casualty, Guinea, West Africa, not
Mm.
qualifying.
And yeah, Guinea definitely a big miss. Sekou Kourassi, one of the best African players of the past year, will not be at the tournament. But of course, losing that final game today against Tanzania was where it all fell apart. And I know that they'll be looking forward to seeing how they can bounce back from that. Okay, Group I, we have Mali topping the group with 14 points. Mozambique finishing second with 11 points. Guinea-Bissau finishing third with 5 points, and Eswatini bottom of the group with 2 points. So for Nigerian fans, I think the first piece of good news, if you look at it like that, is that Guinea-Bissau did not qualify, so we are not going to face them at this next AFCON. But yeah, Mali, Mozambique qualifying from this group. Smith, like your thoughts?
For me, I'm happy that for Tom Santifet. A lot of people did not believe in him, but when he took over from Mali, things turned around for Mali. They start playing very well. You understand the African terrain very well. Tom Santifet, forget about his skin color. You should go and test his DNA. He's like an African guy. He knows, understand the African mentality, African football very well. I know Mali will qualify, but I was surprised that Guinea-Bissau could not do it, despite hiring Luis Buamonte, the Isan coach of
Mhm.
FUAM. We thought that he can do it. They also have a very beautiful home ground too. Unfortunately, he lost to Mozambique. He will not also think that Mozambique don't decide to qualify because they were good during the last AFCON too. Remember that they nearly even they drew 2-2 against Ghana, and nearly even qualified for the second round in the last AFCON. So for me, I think it was close call between Mozambique and Guinea-Bissau, but I'm not surprised Mali topped the group.
Mm,
And
mm,
it's I think last.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Group J, top in the group, we have Cameroon with 14 points, Zimbabwe with 9 points, Kenya with 6 points, Namibia with 2 points. Congratulations to Cameroon. Of course, Cameroon have not been the best, team in recent times, and I'm sure they'll be glad to be making um this one fairly comfortably. Zimbabwe, of course, again, shout out to Zimbabwe, not the biggest footballing nation qualifying for this tournament. But Smith Layi, your thoughts on this group?
For me, I think since if you remember very well, when after the AFCON, we and Cameroon we started looking for coach at the same time. When we went to go and when we went to go and play friendly game against Mali and Ghana in Morocco, Cameroon was still looking for a coach. That was the reason why they didn't use that window to
Mm,
for this thing. They got Uzi Mark Bruce from Belgium. Since then, Cameroon have not lost a game.
mm,
They are on top of the World Cup qualifier group now from a dangerous position, and they are also what? They have also qualified for the AFCON.
mm,
So to tell you that they are also what? They have not lost a competitive game. So that what? They actually what? They are doing well. They won 4 games in this qualifier series and only drew what? 2 games. So he brought in Onana. They are back. So for me, I'm happy. And I have to give kudos to Zimbabwe too. Just coming from a FIFA ban and playing this qualifier again, doing well. They got a new coach now, a foreign coach. He organized the team together, brought some foreign-born players to that team. They are playing very well now, and they qualify for this AFCON ahead of what? Ahead of Kenya and Namibia. So unfortunately, Namibia played in last AFCON. They will not be in this AFCON.
mm,
Kenya played in 2019 AFCON. They will not be in this AFCON. So I'm happy that Zimbabwe, this is where they deserve to be, and actually what in
mm,
the right place now.
mm. All right, all right. Group K, South Africa, top of the group with 14 points. Uganda finishing second with 13. Congo Republic finishing third with 4 points. And then South Sudan finishing fourth with 3 points. Comfortable qualification for South Africa. Uganda also going through in that group. Smith, like your thoughts quickly.
So and and that actually was good thing for South Africa since Ugo Bruce became coach of South Africa. He turned everything around. They qualified for the AFCON. Because this not qualified for the one in 2021. They got to third place in the last AFCON, losing to Nigeria on penalties. Since then they are joined top in their World Cup qualifier group. They qualify for this AFCON with ease. Will tell you that their football is also moving forward. So in this scenario, you will expect South Africa to be top. And also I'm happy for Uganda. Uganda learned that they have qualified for the AFCON just before their game against South Africa. So maybe they actually they did not really perform well. They lost at home to South Africa in the game game 5. So for me, I expect South Africa and Uganda to qualify because DR Congo and South Sudan, they're not in the right place now, in all honesty. So I think
Mm,
South Sudan is not in the right place to qualify for the AFCON. They are doing well in basketball, but not football for now.
mm, mm. All right. And then finally, Group L, topping the group, we had Senegal with 16 points, second, Burkina Faso with 10 points, third, Malawi with 4 points, and then fourth, Burundi with 4 points. Senegal, of course, qualifying comfortably, and then Burkina Faso finishing behind them. I think this group finished how you would have predicted it to finish, with Senegal and Burkina Faso making it into the tournament proper. But Smith, like your thoughts quickly on this one.
Yes, I think Senegal deserve to actually be there. Don't forget that the middle of this qualifier, their coach contract expired. What's it called? The Aloy Cisse contract actually was expired, and they had to look for a new coach. So they brought in Papa Boma Tiao, the Chan winning coach, for Senegal, and you can see that his record speaks well for him. He won nearly all the games that he actually was coached. Cameroon won away against Burkina Faso to tell you that I'm sorry, Senegal won away against Burkina Faso to tell you that he's building what a very strong team. So we know that there's no surprises here. And I think Senegal is playing well under this man, better than even under Cisse, under this man now. So I think that they're in the right direction. Burkina Faso too, they will always be in the AFCON. They will always qualify for the group stage. From the group stage, they will always be there. But it's just for them to go to the next level.
Mm, mm. Okay, and there you have it, guys. The AFCON 2025 lineup is set. Of course, draws to come in the future. Um, Top goal scorer of the qualification, Brahim Diaz with 7 goals. Kudos to him. Top assists, we have Oswin Apolis of South Africa and Bruno Langa of Mozambique with 4 assists each. So congratulations to them for that one. Smith Layi, your most impressive team and your most impressive player in qualification.
For me, I think I have to give it to Brahim Diaz. That's not when people talk about this African football thing. Sometimes it makes me have this weird headache. Hey, no, don't not some play African football. This guy just changing nationality from Spain to Morocco, and now he's becoming the boss in African football.
Hmm.
So for me, I think we should go and bury the idea of African player not knowing how to play African football. We go and bury that idea. Brahim Diaz currently is the best player in this qualifying series, and I can sit down to the bank. He joined in the middle of the qualifier, but I think his impact on Morocco is no be small thing. I'm not out of honest. I think he's my most very, very I'm really impressed with what he actually did for Morocco. Ahead of any other player in this qualifying series. Grassi was very close, but because they didn't qualify, that's why I didn't pick him.
Yeah, and most impressive team for you.
For me, I think my most impressive was have to be Morocco too. Morocco. I told you about it. They're
Hmm.
currently like the best team currently in Africa now, going to this next AFCON. They are doing all the right thing. And I think that the only problem they had then was that playing South African teams. Don't forget that they once lost to South Africa too in a qualifier, and they lost to them again in the AFCON. So they had issues, but now they are now getting results against those type of teams now. That is making them what all rounder. The issue with Morocco is not playing against West Africa; it's playing against the Southern African team. They're not getting results against them now, so that makes them that they're a team that can actually what punish you on a good day. So for me, Morocco, because they have 18 points, I think that they deserve to be the best team. For me, they're the best team in this series.
Hmm. And I think I would agree with you. I was hoping you'll say something different, so I would disagree. But Brahim Diaz, begrudgingly, we have to say he's been the best player. 4 games, 7 goals. Lead your team to cruise. Control,
Mhm,
qualifying comfortably. You have to say he was the best player. And then as far as the best team, you give it to Morocco as well. Unfortunate that Guinea didn't qualify. Girassi could have had a
mhm.
shout there. Unfortunate that Nigeria couldn't keep it up. Maybe Lukman could have had a shout as well. But it is what it is, man. We look forward to the AFCON tournament proper.
Mhm.